I am online. Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be trading and studying. That's pretty much it's in the title, which is going to be pretty boring to be honest. I have my notebook. Um, and yeah, let me just check my camera because I just moved my computer back. Okay, we're good. And let me open my chat. There we go. Let me set this up like this. Really doesn't need to be. Alright, where were we? So we're studying Cnidaria. Diploblastic, radially symmetrical, emetozoan. They use diffusion for gas exchange. So diploblastic, of course, means that they develop from two different layers, which are the ectoderm and the endoderm. Ecto meaning external, endo meaning internal, basically, like endoskeleton. Basic body plan of cnidarians is a sac-like structure with an internal cavity called the gastrovascular cavity. So Cnidaria is jellyfish, sea anemones, and corals. They are aquatic in marine and freshwater. They're carnivores, which is actually kind of weird because they don't even look like they should be. Like, they look like plants almost. Which is weird that they're carnivores. To me, at least. Carnivorous? And the body plan looks pretty simple. Mouth. Tentacle. Mouth. Tentacles are arranged radially around the mouth. So the mouth is in the center and the tentacles are arranged around it. Yeah, so basically what I'm taking from this is wherever the tentacles come out, is also where the mouth is going to be in the center. Polyp and Medusa. So polyps it's like sea anemones, and then Medusae, that's jellyfish. And they float or weakly swim. You know, jellyfish, and the sea anemones kind of just stick there. I just need to know the body types. Polyp, Medusa. Layers of the body wall. So I'm just going to draw a little jellyfish. Oh, Mo, I'm so bad at this. So I guess that outermost layer of skin is the epidermis. Epidermis. Mesoglea, gasterdermis. So if you look at our lab here, the epidermis is an external cell layer. An internal cell layer is the gasterdermis. Dermis equals internal cell layer. Mesoglea is between the other two, and meso is like middle, so I can remember that. Middle layer. Organelles called cnidae are found in cnidocytes. Okay. Cnidocytes have nidae in them. What is a cnidocyte? They're especially abundant on tentacles, but may be distributed throughout the epidermis and gastrodermis. One type of cnida is a nematocyst. So that's a stinging structure. All right. And then there's different classes that I need to know. Hydrozoa, that includes the genera Hydra, Obelia, and Gonianemus. Most members of this class exhibit both stages. Hydra only exist in polyp form. Then Scyphozoa. They're jellyfish. Well, that's pretty easy. Scyphozoa is jellyfish, though they don't sound alike at all, so I need to think of how to remember that. Medusa stage is dominant in this class. Polyps are relatively small or may be absent. Then we have Anthozoa. They're called flowering animals. Anthozoa literally means flowering animals in reference to the brightly colored forms. Okay. Brightly colored, usually. They exist in the polyp stage only. I'm gonna say that's sea anemones, probably. No Medusa stage is. Anthozoan polyps resemble Hydra, but they have a more complex gastrovascular cavity, including modifications to increase surface area. Anthozoa is a large class whose representative include the sea anemone and various types of coral. Okay. Sea anemone and coral. So I'm going to review it again. Hydrozoa, Hydra. Scyphozoa is jellyfish. Anthozoa is sea anemones and corals. So, since this is the lab, we're not actually doing the lab, we're just going to see if we can identify the different things. Ugh. Prey immobilized. Okay. So they immobilize their prey. Bring it to the gastrovascular cavity. And they digest it. Nutrition. Yeah. Cnidarians are the ones with the nerve net. Nerve net. No cephalization. Ocelli and statocyst might be present. Okay, so there's a couple different classes of cnidarians: Anthozoa, sea anemones and corals; Hydrozoa, Hydra, which is pretty obvious. Hydrozoa, I think it's gonna be Hydra. That's pretty easy. Scyphozoa is jellyfish. Cubozoa is box jellyfish, and Mesozoa is parasites. I think of, like, what is it, the Russian word muha, or whatever the heck it is for flies, for Musazoa, to think parasites, like something you don't want around. Musazoa. Hydrozoa, both polyp. So, okay, this is Anthozoa, this is Hydrozoa, this is Scyphozoa, this is Cubozoa. And these are parasites and they're microscopic, which is kind of important. Microscopic. The other ones you could see. The ones are little. You know what? These look kind of silly. They look like they have little eyes. Like, do you see that? That's kind of cute. Though I would not. I don't really want them. Ugh. Egg. Zygoplanola. Developing. And that is the end of that slide. So, body column, petal disc, and tentacles. What is a body column and a petal disc? Let's see. And then after we're done with Cnidaria, we can start trading. And then once we make our trades, we'll go back to studying. And then check on our trades. And hopefully they go well. I'm still a beginner, so there's no guarantee. So let's see. Hydra body column. Petal disc. See, it doesn't tell me what the petal disc is, but we know that. So let me just write these down. Body column, petal disc, and then we know what tentacles are. Then what is nematocyst? I'm just taking the underlined words because those are important. And then we have gastrozoids and gonozoids. They're probably gonozoids because of the double O's, but I don't know. Gastro and gono has to mean something. Okay, gastrozoids are feeding polyps. Gonozoids are non-feeding polyps. So I think the no in gono is going to tell me that they are not feeding, non-feeding, no non-feeding. Non-feeding and gastrozoids are feeding. My goodness, there's always a lot of vocabulary in this, but we're almost done with this, and then we'll move on to platyhelminthes. What is an oral arm? I don't know. So let's look at Hydra anatomy. I'm gonna draw a Hydra, even though, oh my gosh, my drawing skills are not. Maybe I should draw on screen for you guys. Honestly, I don't know, it'll be just as bad. But you guys can see what's going on. It would be nice. Let's check out web whiteboard. 24 hours left to save your board. I don't care. So I'm gonna try and draw the Hydra from what my phone's showing me. Oh no. This is why I am not an artist. So I think it has like an inner layer. Those are like, you know what? I'm gonna make these layers different colors. So like there's, oh goodness. Oh my. Okay. Um, so these things up here are the tentacles. Then the body column, it's just kind of pointing just to it, so okay. Then what did we say the gastrodermis was? Okay, gastrodermis is the internal cell layer. So it's this third layer. Um, gastrodermis. It's this inner layer. Then I believe this green layer, this middle, it's supposed to be the middle layer. Gonna be the mesoglea. Whew. It is mesoglea, right? Yes. And then the outer layer, which is this red layer, is just gonna be the. Wait, no, no, not that. That is a different thing. This orange layer, pretend it actually is in the front. Epidermis. Epidermis. Think epi external. E whatever. Okay, epidermis. And then all the way at the bottom here is where the petal disc is, it says. Petal disc. Oh, I didn't know I could do that, and I didn't mean to, but there is my Hydra. And now I need to figure out what a nematocyst looks like. Oh my goodness, they're like. So I'm gonna try and draw one real quick. They're like. Okay, that's too much. Like, they're very like. They're very like this. They're stinging. They're like stinging um cells or whatever. Now, what is that pedal disc even for? What is the pedal disc for? In Hydra. Okay, so it's just the foot. The pedal disc is just the foot. So I'll put foot in parentheses. It's what lets it attach to things. In order to emphasize that more, let's just, oh, let's just give this an ocean floor. There we go. Ah, it keeps drawing when I'm trying to let go. Hi, good afternoon. Thanks for joining. I hope your afternoon's been good too. I am just studying right now, and after I finish this part, I'm going to try some trades. Hopefully they go well. And yeah, it's just gonna be like a chill stream, so yeah. So gastrozoid, tentacles, gonozoid. Okay, gastrozoid feeds, gonozoid does not feed. And then scyphozoa. Yeah, this is the last part. Let's look up some scyphozoa and draw it out. Scyphozoa is jellyfish. Let me just look up this. Okay, moon jellyfish. Moon jellyfish. Thank you so much. I'm really happy for like to hear that. Yeah. Um and yeah, thank you for coming on the live. I do really appreciate it. Jellyfish. Okay. Okay. Okay, good enough. And it has kind of like these. This actually looks terrifying. Okay. And then it's like has all these like little hairs or whatever over here. Now what do we have to label? Oral arms. Kind of does. Yeah, it's supposed to be a moon jellyfish. I'm just super bad at drawing. Just trying to draw this. Okay, and then down here it has like this thing. Small bulbous structures called rhopalia are located along the edge of the bell. So this is supposed to be rhopalia. It is. It is. I hate drawing on a mouse. I'm not that good at drawing on general. I'm much better on paper than um on here, but it is kind of fun. Okay. Oh yeah. And jellyfish certainly aren't my specialty either, so okay, they contain an eye spot, which is this spot right here, and an organ of balance called a statocyst. They aren't visible externally, so don't include them in your drawing. The horseshoe-shaped structures are the gonads. Okay, where are they? So I guess in the other images you can see I should have used a different thing so I could label everything in black, but it's fine. These are the gonads. It's honestly so weird that we're in the same world as like things like jellyfish, because like it's like everything's completely different and it's crazy. Like there's giraffes, there's ants, and there's jellyfish and sharks, and all on the same planet, and that's so strange. Like, how does that happen? I mean, that's why I'm in biology. It's kind of teaching us how that happens, but okay. Where is the mouth? Okay, it's literally this middle intersecting part. It's gonna be the mouth. Oral arms. Where are they? Okay, so they're literally these things. Yeah. I mean, I think we weren't here during the dinosaurs, but it is crazy. I used to love dinosaurs when I was little. Like all these things were so much bigger and like they just all got wiped out and then all the little creatures survived somehow. I mean, a lot of people have like the meteor theory, but like the fact is we really don't entirely know. But like there was some pretty cool stuff back in the day. Like Megatherium. This is like a giant sloth. Check out this size. Like imagine riding into battle on that thing. Like imagine it would be so cool if like there was like more giant things that you could like or like if you had like a pterosaur or something and you can fly it, that would be so cool. Like that'd be awesome. I love prehistoric creatures. It's so cool. Yeah, they're it's so cool. I think like a lot of things used to be bigger, like even the plants. Let me look it up real quick. Were plants bigger prehistorically? Club mosses. Hmm. They're not mosses at all. Okay, and why are they called club mosses? Leading nicknames are everywhere, blah blah blah. Hmm. The tallest trees are over 100 feet tall with a curious bark texture that looks like a reptile's scales. The scale tree is the titanic prehistoric cousin of our little club moss. The fossils of these extinct lycophytes and their fellow swamp dwellers are found abundantly at a world famous paleontological site near Chicago called Mason Creek. That has some funky texture. Oh my gosh. Wait, what was that? I'm trying to think of something. When you said alligator, I thought of something. There was a there is a prehistoric like alligator. See, I can only think of the prehistoric snake. I don't know if you know Titanoboa. Check out this thing. And there's an exhibit, you can stand by it. Not an alligator, but check this thing out. giant snake. There was an alligator. Let's see if Dinosuchus. Look at this thing. This is a Purosaurus. Whatever. Big alligator. Why did one side say Dinosuchus and the other one saying whatever this is? Never heard of this one, but that's pretty cool. Let's see the size of the Dinosuchus. They are still pretty big. They are still very big. Yeah, look at this thing. Yeah. I can't imagine how different life would be like as a species if we ever lived among dinosaurs. I don't know how I wonder if we'd have more underground places to survive. But then again, I'm sure some dinosaurs could dig, but I wonder because I feel like if we built above ground, things would be more prone to getting destroyed by dinosaurs, so we might have had an underground civilization. I don't know. I'm just thinking about this on the spot, but it is pretty interesting to think about. That's true. It would be so cool to have a pet dinosaur. I wonder what they'd look like if they were domesticated. Because, wolves and dogs look entirely different, you know? Dogs have all these different colors and stuff, and wolves only have, a handful that I know of. It would be so cool. I wonder if dinosaurs would also, be a lot smaller when we domesticated them, just like with other animals. But then again, there are some wild animals that I don't think we ever fully domesticated. I think cats were domesticated more recently than dogs, and they didn't come from a tiger or anything like that. They were from a different animal. What were cats domesticated from? It's on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, North African wildcat. And they do look closer to house cats. They're just skinnier and stuff. Anyhow, okay. Oral arms, mouth in the center. Staticist. What does a staticist do? Okay, yeah. Gravity and orientation sensors. We have those in our ears as well. Anyways, since we did Nidaria, let's try and trade. I am not a professional at this at all. I'm not even profitable. I owe $5. So I'm gonna go with a daily. And we're gonna stay away from Ripple and Dogecoin and all that. That makes sense. Yeah, I think things do naturally just get smaller. And humans tend to ruin everything anyway. There's a lot of dog breeds that just can barely breathe and stuff because humans want a certain look or whatever. It's no longer the natural selection making the species better. It's just whatever humans want. Yeah, pugs. The good thing is there are some pugs that are bred specially to reverse this. What are the healthy pugs? Oh yeah, retro pugs. Retro pug. They have more They have more snouts so they can actually breathe. Yeah, I don't think people should ever make like a creature that suffers just for human enjoyment. Like that's just messed up. And dogs are cute as they are. We don't need to make them have a bunch of problems. Honestly, dog breeding in general needs a lot more regulation. Like, someone shouldn't just be able to do whatever they want because people are irresponsible. They're just after money. They don't like it needs to be regulated. We already have enough puppies on the street. Like, and people just irresponsibly breed them. Let's check out these charts. Okay. 1 hour and 3 hour. First glance looks like it's going down. For the day, it looks like maybe up, but I don't know. It looks like it has to fall. It looks like it has to fall. This is like kind of just vibes, but anyways. 3 contracts. Hmm. I'm just gonna go with 60 for like maybe 18 cents in my journal. And we are indeed going down. Watch me eat my words in about 5 seconds. So pasting the 3 hour chart, I use it to learn from it, like later on after I am wrong or correct. You know what? Instead of, I'm actually more confident that it's gonna go down. I'm gonna place my limit order at, you know what? 65, 65, not just 60, 65. I think it's gonna go down a good amount and I can make a decent little bit from that. And we're going up again, because of course we are. But we have 2 hours. We have 2 hours. I think it's going down. I think it's going down. I'm confident it's going down. I really hope I don't eat my words on this one. Now let's go back, study, and check on our trades in a little bit. Well, my one trade. Okay, Lophatrochozoa. That's quite a word. And let's go to the accompanying lecture. Bloody helminthes. Planaria, tapeworms, and flukes. Boring. Okay, bloody helminthes. It's gonna be planaria, tapeworms, and flukes. Habitat, free living, commensal, or parasitic. So they can be parasites or they could just be free living. They can be found in basically water or damp habitats. Actually, you're right about that. So, um, calcium just messing around kinda. But I do have a little bit of investment in um bigger companies. Let me make sure you can see it here. Um, $382. Oh my gosh, today's return is 2.18%, $8. Nice. Um, So yeah, when I last added money, it was at 323. And now it's at 382. So not bad at all. Um, it's been decently going up. Those I'm holding like pretty much indefinitely. I might add money at some point. Those are the ones that I'm like holding. This like tiny amount of money in Kalshi is just to try and learn trading. So yeah. But yeah, thank you for the advice and stuff. I've actually never tried penny stocks though. Could be something to look into for sure. Yeah, I've been doing kind of research into finance for a while now. The trading thing is somewhat new to me, but like in terms of like I kind of know what's less risk, you know. Um I used to have like a finance notebook and I would watch all the videos that I could find and write down all the different stats and stuff. Um I'm invested in two companies right now, which is Intel and NextEra Energy. Um which honestly, I mean, I think you can kind of see my thought process. I mean, people are gonna keep buying computers and tech and stuff, and energy is a big thing. It's gonna be a big thing for a while. I mean, bound to pretty much keep going up. Um, and yeah, I get dividends sometimes. Um, but yeah, and the trading thing, I have heard most people fail, and I can see why because it's like very much, it's obviously it's not easy. It's not something you can easily predict, or else it would be, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, honestly, um, when did I first invest in this stuff? Might have was a while ago. Hmm. All right, a year ago. Not bad. 2025. You know what? I think I put in money before that though. I thought I did. Let me see. Anyhow, but yeah, trying to figure things out and for trading I've been oh, let me turn on my light. This light auto turns off. All right, just stay on for a second. What was I saying? For trading, I have basically been keeping pictures of the different um things and seeing if I can predict them. Um and a couple of my findings, ooh, that's not good, bro. Obviously, I'm still learning, but something I have learned. Wait, you know what? I just realized This aligns with something that I was thinking about yesterday. Basically, what I've been seeing, just observing things, is that usually when there's a spike, there's like a little period of nonsense before another boom, downturn. Um, but again, it could just be coincidences, but it seems like what happened here, whatever, and now we're going on a large uptick, which I should have been able to predict, but I said the opposite because the chart was looking like, I was like, oh, well, it's gone up, it must go down. I have a lot to learn, but anyways, what in terms of time frames, I think I've learned 15 minutes is basically gambling. Like that's way too short of a time frame. 1 week, I thought it would work well at first, but then I realized that the market could fluctuate so much in a week that your bets could totally just fail. There's no guarantee that it's going to go up or down to the point that it was when you first made that bet. So like um smaller, what was I going to say? Smaller time frames, but not too small is probably the way to go. Oh, are we going down? Are we going down? I do also notice that sometimes after an uptick, there's just a identical slope downward, um, which happens from time to time, and I'm hoping that might happen here, but who knows? If we don't keep going up. Also, something to note about Kalshi is that TradingView is ahead of Kalshi. So you can predict the future by a couple of seconds. And that's what the principle I was going off of with the 15 minutes, but I just can't, like, I'm not fast enough. But 66551. This is at 66563 still. So you know that the market's going to go down before it goes down on Kalshi. Um, so there is a slight advantage. I think it's about 40 seconds. But yeah, I've been betting on $10 increments. And every time I blow the account, I make sure that I earn 10 more dollars, like on Prolific, so that I'm not like just creating a hole. Like I earn the money back before I put more in to make sure I'm not creating like a void. We're going up again. But I think in an hour and 43 minutes, that's enough for a dip. And yeah, there are patterns. I think it depends. It depends. There's a lot of factors, and most people don't want to like do the research and try to figure out what's going on. Everything from news to just how many people are active on the day and just the time, etc., etc. All these different factors play a part, and that's why it's hard to predict the market and why you can't just be like, well, looks like it's gonna go up. Like it, you don't know. Thank you. I will. I'm definitely gonna keep doing research. I'm gonna keep doing this journal every day, learning, and hopefully it'll pay off, you know? Um, Honestly, it's already taught me a lot in general, like in controlling my emotions and stuff, because there's certain moves that a lot of people can relate to, like when you like sometimes I would place a trade and then I would panic that it's going the opposite direction, so I would place a trade in the other direction, and then it would immediately go in my favor, and I would just lose money because I panicked. If I didn't panic, I would have won money, you know? It's a lot of controlling like your emotions and being confident in what you like are choosing. Um, and yeah, there are already some lessons being learned. So even if like it doesn't eventually work out, which I doubt because it seems like there is some kind of formula, um, at least I'm learning some lessons from it and managing myself better. Okay. Yep, there we go. We're going down. Hopefully. Is it gonna go up immediately after I say that? No? Alright, I'm gonna let it cook. Did did I X out my other um what's my other bio? Okay. Thank you so much. I'm really happy to hear that. Honestly, I credit that to my dad, honestly, because he taught me like a lot of stuff um from when I was little. Um like I was learning about assets and stuff when I was like I don't even know, like probably man, like 13, maybe earlier. And I remember he had me coding on Scratch from when I was like 8. Like I had a slight interest in it and then I was making my own little games and stuff. And that taught me a lot about like math and stuff. And I'm not the best at math, but like I was able to learn like X, Y, and Z and all this stuff really early on and a lot of problem solving and such. Um, and my dad also always like he didn't just talk about hard work, he showed me it because he has a master's degree. He also was an iron worker for a long time. He um he was really obsessed with chess and he was serious about it. I remember he would always be up um if he wasn't reading a chess book, he was watching a chess game or he was like um recording a chess video or he was playing a match on his phone. Even when we were in like a drive-through, he would be playing a chess match on his phone and he would bring home like trophies from tournaments and they're like just all in the basement. Um like he was dedicated. Um and he traveled a lot even when I was little and he still travels a lot. Um he gives me a lot of good advice and he also told me a lot about like propaganda and stuff. Um Basically something he said that was really important was just follow the money. Whenever I want to know like the motive for something or like who's behind something, follow the money. And that holds true for a whole lot of things. Like um when you see who's funding something, your perspective on it definitely changes because then the motive kind of is clear after that. And he always raised me like with critical thinking and stuff like I don't care what religion you are. I don't care um what you choose to believe, just don't be stupid about it, is what he would say. Um he would tell me like how to do research and stuff and he told me like political sides are two sides of the same coin, you know all that. Or maybe you don't. I don't know, but you probably figured it out. It's it was a lot of good stuff early on, and without that, I don't think I would be the same person. All right, bloody hell, Minthies. Okay, have to know the different classes. Yeah, I have wonderful parents. Um, and yeah, my dad's a very smart person, and he did teach me a lot of the education stuff. In fact, even when like as a punishment, he wouldn't hit us or yell at us or anything. What he would do, he would make us all watch like a science video or a math video, and it was very unconventional and it was boring, but I ended up learning things from it. So I would learn about space or math or something else. Um, and it worked as a punishment, but I learned something also. Um, but yeah, my dad is quite an interesting guy. He also would do jujitsu. He's like strong, always eat healthy. He's a good example. And my mom always encouraged me also. Um, she makes me cookies sometimes for my dorm, and she's very supportive and um I think she's been a stay-at-home mom most of my life. She does have a job right now, but it's like part-time. Um, but she always like cooked good dinners for us and stuff and taught us actual life skills. Okay. Yeah, sorry I just saw your chat, um but yeah. I hope it's a good day at work and not too difficult. All right. Platyhelminthes, Turbularius flatworms. Trematoda flukes. Monogenea Persic external flukes. Okay, Trematoda, Monogenea are both flukes. Cestoda is parasitic internal tapeworms. Okay, also tapeworms. So Turbularius flatworms, Cestoda is parasitic internal tapeworms. Trematoda monogenea are flukes. Okay, gonna draw a turbularine. This is not the best drawing, but it's alright. Draw his eyes. And then there's like little chords here. You know what's something else my dad taught me? I might not be able to say it as elegantly as he did, but basically he said that if you're talented, um, it's better to be hardworking and non-talented than talented and lazy. Um, basically, um, hard work and talent is basically unstoppable. But if you're talented and you don't use it, well, it's useless, which it kind of makes sense. But like, basically, my dad tells me that I'm talented, and if I don't use it, it'll go to waste, and people will get ahead of me if I don't. And um, he did taught me a lot. He did teach me a lot of things. Um, and also a lot of my teachers did too. I remember in school we read the 10,000 hour rule. Um, and that was a really interesting book because it kind of dove into like how much like just putting in work actually matters if you want to be at the professional level of anything. Um, 10,000 hours is when you become professional. A lot of people will just do the bare minimum in a skill, but then the people that study for hours and hours and hours and actually put in the work are the ones who get ahead. And that makes a lot of sense again, but um it was a very interesting and eye-opening book. Um and and my dad said he wants me to do better than he did. Um and you know what, that's love, like he really does want the best for me and my sisters and stuff. And yeah, let me finish this drawing. Okay, this tube is the pharynx. You know, what also taught me a lot was literally just being completely different from every other kid. Because you might know this, you might not. I am autistic, and so a lot of social awkwardness and like a whole lot of anxiety and stuff, um, and also other life issues, um, stacked on. And I had a lot of problems, and I had to work through them. And that's kind of why I try to help other people because I went through something crazy that I don't know how well, I do know, that's why I'm helping people, but it's like insane to look back on. I used to not even be able to talk to another kid or a teacher. I wouldn't answer. I wouldn't talk, and like I was just that scared to do anything cuz and it was obviously a problem and I had to work through that. Um and I mean, obviously the teachers were like, something's wrong with this kid. She's not talking to anybody or answering the teachers. I mean, having that level of anxiety is crazy. And yeah, I was able to work through it and I have some nice friends now. And I am a little awkward still, but I'm doing a lot better. Um, among very many other things that I haven't talked about. So since this is going up, I think I'm gonna try and make a few cents off this upswing. Was this? You know what? I always say this and the market immediately goes down because it's on a nonsense phase. It'll go up again though. I'm gonna put 55. Hopefully the market hits both of the points that I put. Preferably, oh excuse me, up before going down. See, this is what happens every time. Whenever I place a small opposite bet, it starts working out where I wanted it to work out. But we'll see how far down it goes. I feel like I notice these little tiny candles before something major happens. Like it stagnates for a second and then it's like boom. I've noticed that a couple times now. I'm gonna add it to my journal. It's always like one of these up and down candles. These seem to appear before major movement. Sometimes, again, could be coincidence. We can see if it's a pattern. You zoom in. See, there's usually these weird ones. And then it's like, boom, down. Does it hold true? Tiny little candles, boom, down. And then here it's just doing nonsense. Hi! Oh wait, maybe I was cooking on that. Maybe I was cooking on that, yes. Come on. Up, 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 and then we're gonna drop down. Yes! Went through. Did we gain like, what, 10 cents? If I can grow this little bit of money though. So I had 415, now I have 421. Not a big win, but it's a win. It's a win, okay? Better than a loss all the time. And you know what? I'd rather risk small amounts of money first, and then once I have a method locked in, then I um will add more money. And we're going down. That's what I'm banking on with these 3 no contracts. Is that in the next hour and 17 minutes we're going down enough to convince people that no will be down to 65% of people are going to be convinced this is dropping. All the way down to 250. I think that it's going to happen. Look at this stage. It can only go up for so long. The day chart does look like it should go up, but these other charts, it looks like I think we're heading towards a downswing. I noticed these tiny candles before major movement, and I'm hoping that holds true. Oh shit, we're going up again. Let's check on Ethereum and see if there's something we could... I don't want to mess with Ripple because I'm guessing it's probably going to be low volatility. I mean, not volatility, low liquidity. Because literally when I invested in Solana, whatever, I was winning, but the liquidity was so bad that I couldn't cash it out. Like, my chances doubled in my favor, and it literally, there was not enough liquidity to cash out. Price range. You know what? No. One contract on this, yes. And then we're gonna limit order 55 for 12 cents. 376 in cash. Cash. 376. No, not 86, I wish. Hopefully we can come back my portfolio. How many we have 2 resting orders, and that's not looking good. Limit price and current price. These bulls kind of bang on the market to go down. Let's go back to biology. So platyhelminthes, they include free-living flatworms and parasitic tapeworms, as well as flukes. Flatworms have tissues organized into organs, and they exhibit bilateral symmetry. Bilaterally symmetrical. So, bilaterally symmetrical means you can cut them down the middle and both sides are the same. They typically move about actively and exhibit cephalization, which is the accumulation of nervous tissue and sensory structures at the interior of the animal. I believe that's the front, but let's double check. What is the interior? Anterior of an animal. The anterior is the front. Okay. Anterior is the front. So basically they have the brain on the front. Just like if you cut a human. Maybe I shouldn't say it like that. If humans are the same on both sides, okay? Like, if you had 2 sides of a human, there would be 1 arm and 1 leg on one side, and 1 arm and 1 leg on the other side. You get the point. That's bilateral symmetry. Platyhelminthes are triple blastic, so they have 3 layers, the endo, ecto, and mesoderm. Ectoderm, so let's see what each layer turns into. The ectoderm turns into the epithelium. The endoderm is the lining of the gut. And the mesoderm includes muscle. So the ectoderm is epithelium, endoderm turns into the gut lining, and the mesoderm turns into muscles. Meso, muscle, I think that's how I remember it, both start with M. Platyhelminths are protostomes. And you can see I was making this amazing drawing. Yeah, so I had finished the Platyhelminthes, oh, chat prostitute skull, oops. There we go. So the mouth is there, the pharynx is this weird little tube. Ganglia are right under the eyes. Eye spots, well, they just look like eyes. Ventral nerve cords are these two little cords at the outer ends. Gastrovascular cavity, I guess, is like under that. It's this like branched looking thing. Ectoderm, outer endoderm. Mesoderm is like muscles. Endoderm gives rise to the gut lining. All right. Spiral cleavage. Lophotrichozoa. It's a fun word. Most protostomes are coelomate. Platyhelminths are acoelomate. Acoelomate. They lack a fluid-filled space between the gut and outer body wall, but they may have derived from a coelomate ancestor. Cestota and Trematota and Monogenea are parasites. Flatworm means the body is flattened. Who would have guessed? They lack organs but have protonephridia. Okay. Protonephridia. Protonephridia. Okay, they remove excess water from the body. Ooh. This is why we start with a small amount of money, because check out how bad these prices have depreciated. What is going on here? Was there... Of course there's a massive upspike. But we are going down. I think it's gonna be that pattern where it's like up and then it swoops right back down in the same place. So let's hope that happens so that my thing can be worth something. I'm gonna buy this. Now let's sell. 56 is good. 9 cents. And let's get back to our studies. Platyhelminths have eye spots, which detect light, and chemoreceptors that detect chemicals in the environment. They have a gastrovascular cavity, a digestive cavity, with a single opening that serves for both ingestion of food and elimination of waste. Flatworms move by ciliary gliding. Let's look at the anatomy of this thing that it wants us to draw. Okay. And I think we just drew, this is the thing we just drew. The oracle is just this side thing, which we'll add. Oracle. Okay, so it's a chemosensory organ. Oh, ooh, boy. Why did I why did I do that? I asked. Because there was no reason for me to invest in this. Loki, I knew it was going down right after, so why did I do that? 66,000. 6 minutes? Oh yeah, no, we're cooked. Please. I think we can get this one. Come on, I'm ready to hit that sell button. No. Come on, 67,000, you can do it. Should have looked at the time. It's going way too fast. Oh no. I'm just gonna take this loss. Because there is no way. And this, if it goes down enough, there might be a shot. Probably not. Price at 5 p.m. Who knows? On contract. Go for 40. That's 228. See if we lose it all. Probably. Mesenkheim, where is that? That's cooked. These have another hour. Bro. You know what? I should just bet opposite to myself at this point. Or not. You know, I always say I should bet opposite, but then it works out. A whole 1%. And the market value is still below what I paid for it. Let's just click away from this for now. What is planaria mesenchyme? What is a planaria? What is a mesenchyme? Loose connective tissue filling the space between the epidermis and the digestive tract. But where? I should just stick to playing games. Are the mesenchyme labeled on any of this? Number 3. See, how can you see that? Bro, it's like and these are the dorsoventral muscles, 5 is intestine. Yeah, as if I'll ever be able to do that. Okay, we're still in Mophatrochozoa. Now we have mollusks. So mollusks have 3 classes. Mollusks. We have gastropods, snails, plus slugs. But bivalves, bivalves? I don't know how to say it. Clams, oysters, and mussels. Cephalopods, which is squid. Okay, it's time for us to draw a mollusk. My goodness. So it's like, this is its foot. It's like a side view of a snail. But like, it looks really, really bad. Okay, then there's this thing. This is the gill. These are nerve cords. Why am I in CapCut? Oops. Okay, this thing is the heart. Oops! This took his heart out. This is the heart. Then I guess the space in between the mantle and the gill is the mantle cavity. Oh, something went through. I have 338 in cash now. What would I have no idea. By the way, I didn't invest in all these and get zero. When you choose one range, it shows you every single range you didn't invest into for whatever reason. Okay, well, I'm not complaining. Cash went from 228 to 338, so we're not losing everything. This thing is the stomach. Just like in humans, the heart is above the stomach, which is useful to know. Weird squiggly is the intestines. It's kind of a clean arrow. Intestines. Let's try Ethereum. You know what? This is only 9 cents, so I'm going to set an order on that. Also, because I feel like the market can go down in the next 49 minutes enough to. We're actually going to be taking upswing right now. So for now, I'm going to buy one contract of this. Take a 50 for 15 cents. Cash, 291. Put into Ethereum. Ooh. We need to wait. Okay. Head, foot equals sensory and locomotive structures. Mantle is the shell. Well, it secretes the shell. Fragile as the tongue. Visceral mass is excretory and digestive. Gonna be so happy once I finish this, but then I have 2 more classes. I'm not even gonna look at how many labs we have left to do, but we're getting it done today. That's what we're doing. So I think I understand why people aren't betting on this now, because Ethereum seems to move up slower increments than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin seems to move up like one every time. This one moves slower. Even though it does move with Bitcoin, it moves at slower increments. Hopefully this pays off for me. See, I predicted what it's gonna go up to, but in terms of selling, I didn't. Let's cancel the order. Wait a minute. 7, 5, 2, 1. Uh-oh. 3. Since it's staying steady at 3, I don't think that we can bet on that. Now we're up to 5. 7, 5. Let me just... Didn't work. Shit. 3, 5. 5 cents. Not bad at all.
Sorry, I didn't get that. The internet isn't reachable.
I wasn't talking to you. Go again. Try to sell at 55. Now at 282. See, it's harder to sell on Ethereum just because it lags a little behind. See how it's worth 48, but it's selling, well, it's worth 50 now and it's selling at 43. I don't even have to look at TradingView to know what the people on TradingView think, because when the price goes down before it goes down on Kalshi, I know that the market's about to dip. Because they've already responded before it shows on screen. Reinvesting might have been a mistake. I should take my wins and not reinvest all the time. That's another mistake I make. But what I know is it's going to go back up soon. Because after dips like this, it's a couple nonsense up and downs before it goes back up. See, like even right here, it went up a couple nonsense up and downs, and then boom. But then again, these candles to me indicate a big downturn, so I'm not sure. Let me paste this chart. This is my prediction. It's going to go way down. The nonsense part might have been just this little part, and it might just be going down now. Ugh. Fortunately, I'm leaning heavily on the idea that it's going down. But my bet is worth 31 at the moment, so we're gonna face an upturn again. Yep. Oh, we're going down. And up again. Well. Okay. See ya. So here you can see in action kind of what I call nonsense theory, where after a major event, there's just like up, down, up, down, up, down, and then it's a major downpour right afterwards. Like, you have a huge upswing like this, it's gonna have your ups and downs, just little ones, and then it's gonna go the opposite direction steeply. And it's gonna be like, what kind of a window is this? This is only a 10-minute window, so they're very short windows, but they are windows. And I think this is our nonsense window here, and then we're gonna have an uptick. I don't think it might be that big though. I might think it's like around equal to this. And then I think it's gonna do a little up and down, and then it's gonna go down. Oh, this is at 18. And honestly, I don't know if it's gonna go up by. Huh? What do you mean I can't sell? This is why Bitcoin is better. Why are my odds doubled and I can't sell? Are we serious right now? Why are my odds doubled? That doesn't make any sense either. Because who in their right minds is saying no while the market is going way up above? I guess nobody, because that's why I can't sell. Thankfully, I have a yes position. Please bring me up. 55. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if it's going to go up enough for us to cash on this. Because if it's like I said, yeah, I knew it was going to get about here, and then it's going to, wow, it's going to do whatever. That's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, it looks like we're facing it down. And it might not recover enough for me. Let's check out this 3-hour chart. We have up, nonsense, up, nonsense, up, nonsense, down, down, up. I just love writing with this thing, to be honest. I love making little arrows, and if that doesn't mean anything. Woo! It is really fun. I get why they do this. Up, 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 down, 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 up. My goodness. This makes no sense to me right now. 99% yes, and yet my no is can be bought for 18 cents, which is more than what I paid for it. I don't know why that happened. I always have the urge to try and predict the 15-minute markets, but it's never a good idea. But I always feel like I can do it. Market ends in 2 minutes. I wish they had candle charts for that, but I get why you shouldn't. Oops. Oh, wait. It's actually good to have them side by side. $15-minute. I don't need this graph stressing me out. I just need this graph Now in that 1 minute, come on. So the big thing at the bottom is a foot. Mouth. Intestine is a squiggly thing. Stomach is bigger. Heart is over the stomach, but it's not shown in this image. I didn't know that was the anus. So what am I gonna say about this? I'm saying in the next 15 minutes, we're gonna have it down. 14 seconds left, let's watch this end. See, 15 minutes has the most dramatic look to it for no reason. You can easily see where it heads. Okay, now let's do... No, let me trade no. There we go. Let's see what we can get. Oh. We have 15 minutes. I know it's going back down in 15 minutes. Because it's going to be that weird pattern. Where is my frickin' chart, please? Chart, please. Yeah, there's my chart. Why isn't the price changing? There's something wrong. It's really not changing much, is it? There we go, that's what I'm talking about. Yes! Yes, 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 check that out. 26 cents. Let's freaking go. No, wait. Another 15 minutes. I tested my 15 minutes before and I was able to predict it with like 75% accuracy. And if that is true, then we can make some actual gains from this. But of course, test with small money before the big money. And this is just one win. So, you know. And we win by split screening. 15-minute sessions. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, if you let me I didn't even mean to do split view, but it was good. And even though I can't see how much money I have. There we go. This is the time to buy. Hopefully we don't wipe out all the gains we just made. Come on. There we are. I know in the next 11 minutes the candles are gonna switch again. Because we're in the nonsense zone, as I like to call it. It's gonna go up, this candle's gonna form over the next minute, and then the next minute's gonna go down. It's just weird candles. I am not worried in the slightest. See, our odds are changing. It's gonna change in our favor. There we are. There's our gains. Up, up, up you go. This is about to be a stop profit take loss moment. Shit. No? We'll take like 20 cents if we can. I don't know if that'll work. I should have cashed, shouldn't I? We're gonna make a comeback though. Again, we have 11 whole minutes. People are buying and selling this like crazy. Yeah, 1 minute this candle, and then we're gonna have it form again. Is this what happens when I get too confident? That would wipe out all the gains we just got and more. I'm gonna hold. 15 minutes really is an insane time frame, isn't it? Now what's happening here? Ooh. The 1 hour chart is not looking good for us either. What? Ooh. This is why I don't trade on 15 minutes. I get too confident and then I mess up. What the fuck? No! Oh my gosh, I missed the nonsense era. Because this is exactly what I was talking about. No. So, this nonsense area, and then it's going up. I missed the nonsense. I totally cooked myself, I can tell. How many minutes do we have here? We have 6 minutes, and I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough to come back. We might have learned another lesson. Now I'm just thinking about how I should have cashed out on that 10. Same mistakes, but one day we're going to learn from them. We're going to learn from them. It's okay. I can't believe I played myself and I literally know the pattern. I literally know the pattern. What am I doing? Yeah, there's no way it's going to come back down in time, but it is going to come back down on the next round. So we're going to bet like 5 contracts on it. I have enough money left. I don't know how much money we have. So that's a wrap, but at least we know that next one we can capitalize on it down. Next one's going down for sure. Yes! That's what I'm saying. It's not gonna go down on time here, but yeah, we're in the nonsense section again. So this nonsense thing is going to last for a few minutes, and then we're gonna plunge again. It's just how it's been turning out. So my prediction is gonna be there's gonna be like 5 minutes of nonsense, and then it's gonna be a huge plunge. So next time we're betting no, strongly. The unfortunate thing is it could also continue to go up, but I hope not. We know we're losing this, so we don't need to look at it. Yeah, I've been seeing these exact patterns. Big down sweep, bunch of up and down nonsense, and then huge up sweep. I think that's the pattern we can capitalize off of if we figure out how to get into the, like, get in right on one of the downturns, the small ones, and then sell high. See, that's how I am so confident that this is going to turn out okay. Because I know that eventually I'm going to figure this out. The pattern is coming together. The market reverses quickly, but that's good. Yes. This is 26 seconds. Won't go down enough to get my money, but next time it will go down rapidly enough so that I can make a big payout. Should have just took my win and left it at that. See, this is the nonsense. We're gonna go up and down a little bit over the next couple minutes, but we're gonna be okay. Reloading so I can get in on this as soon as possible. There we go. Two contracts. Come on. Two. Uh-oh. Okay. There we go. 24 cents. I'm gonna reinvest again only because I'm really sure that it's gonna keep going. Come on. Give me one. Won't even. Not worth it. Won't let me in. But I'm actually gonna invest in two upticks because it's gonna at least temporarily go up. Come on now. We're still in that nonsense period for the downtick. Unless I'm wrong. You might not be. You know what, let me just... Shit, I can't... Why isn't it letting me sell? No, bro, let me sell. Did I just buy another one? I didn't mean to. No, let me sell. Let me sell. Bro. Just let me sell, please. It's not letting me sell my frickin' contracts. Come on. What the fuck? Bro. Give me my profit. If it... Bro. I'm gonna crash out. Bro! It would not let me sell. When it was at... Oh my god, we're fucked. I just gotta take this loss. Will it let me sell? That would be great. No, I don't. Just let me frickin' sell my shit. What is wrong with this thing, bro? Let me sell. Big loss, but... Hi, why is this thing messed up? There we go. Would not let me sell. That's what I'm talking about. If it lets me frickin' sell, that would be great. Plus 74. There we are. Cash 251. How were we before? 291. Current cash 251. Listen, I think if I follow my pattern and this thing doesn't be stupid, then I'll be fine. These ones are cooked, but it's okay. So 7-minute 20-second timer. We'll study for 7 minutes while this goes on, and then we'll reinvest and we'll make some money. I need to get back to $10. I think I can do that by the end of the day if my pattern is correct, which I believe it is. So let's see, how long was this? So the okay. So there was a very, very small, what I call like stagnation or nonsense part right here. It only lasted 5 minutes. That's where the trouble with the 15 minutes comes in. Because I don't know how to predict how long that little section is going to last. So let's, for reference, look at how long it lasted in the past. Nonsense section. 1:30. Looks like 5 to 8 minutes. But then sometimes the nonsense section can last as long as 45 minutes. But I think the best bet is betting on the opposite to the latest spike overall. Because see how this uptick, we know the next thing is going to be down. Goes down, 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 and then see, but that's a big event in. I guess this also counts as a decently steep drop off. See, we're going back up here. We're in the nonsense section, which can last as long as 45 minutes. Let's check out here. Down. Mm. Hmm. Okay, a minute. So we do have to, let's draw this clam. So I'll draw the shape first. This is so hard to like um make sense of. Whoops. So this big line thing is going to be the gills. Corner is going to be this opening. And like it's kind of ridged. Is this muscle? I think these gills are actually bigger. And we have this outer part here, the mantle. Okay, let's try to make sense of this. These are the gills. So labial pops. Is the mantle. Let's see what's happening here. I'm gonna bet on a no. I think it's gonna be one of those things where it's straight up and then straight down, but even if not, we're gonna make it two. I'm gonna try and buy 3 at 50. There we go. You know, it would be great if it let me sell on time. Oh, this is entirely my fault. Oh no. Please. How much time do we have? Ooh. And we need below 724. We're just cooked, man. And it does go according to the patterns that I found. This was nonsense. Nonsense, and we're going back up. And that means I'm completely screwed. Trading proves that I can be right, but forget my technique and totally threw myself over. "15 minutes does have a formula. I just need to be better at it." Ooh, check it out. I was right at the expense of all my money. $1.01 is crazy. Take a selfie for the snap. Yeah, that's a wrap. Now let's actually look at my theory. This is how we're moving now. I'm not sure. This is a clear up. Down. Up. But then instead of nonsense, we're seeing an uptick. Well, since we're in the nonsense zone, I'm gonna bet on no. This is it. Oh, hi, welcome to the stream. Honestly, I'm trying to figure this all out. I'm not the best at it yet, but something I've started to notice is that there tends to be a little bit of like, where's the image? I've noticed that like there's usually when there's a big up spike, there's like a bunch of up and down nonsense before boom, like all the way back down. And I've noticed that a couple times now. Up, little bit of nonsense, and then like down. Usually it's like 5 or 15 minutes, but it could be up to 45 minutes. But usually it reverses, but it's a process. It's been a while so far. Trying to figure this out. Because there is a lot of learning involved, for sure. Yeah, I have 156 slides in this thing. This isn't looking too good for me, and this is a 15-minute time frame, so yikes. It is a very small amount of money right now, but yeah. See, I knew this was going up. I just thought there would be a little more time, like, of it going down before it did. And I might have been wrong about that, which is gonna cost me. Oh, the PowerPoint is just like, it's, notes. So, like, it's my own, like, trades and stuff and what I learned. So there's a lot of screenshots and a lot of notes of, like, what I did wrong and stuff like that. So just for me to learn from, pretty much. Fortunately, it was not cooking on this trade. How many minutes do we have? Well, something I've learned recently, firstly, is to trust my gut and stop putting opposite trades because whenever I tend to like be like sometimes I'll get scared that something's going wrong and so I'll place the opposite bet only for it to go my way that I needed it to originally and then lose the money from it. So like firstly is not impulsively um taking the opposite side. Um and also don't revenge trade and if you don't know what that is, overcompensating like when you lose. Like if I lose like $1 or something, I might put in $5 hoping to make up all the losses and more. Like and then you just end up losing a ton more money than you intended. Um which is why it's revenge trading. It's why it's bad because you usually just like act on emotion and then lose everything, which is really not a good thing to do. Um, and also, um, I've been taking note of the time frames. At first, I thought a weekly time frame would be like a good time frame to like just place bets and let them sit. Because I'm like, oh yeah, eventually the market's gonna go up and down. But the thing is, um, over a week, the problem is that the market would go down way more than I anticipated or way more up than I anticipated and never hit on some of the bets. So instead of a week, which can change too drastically to actually meaningfully predict, um, I like the ones that are closer, like the daily ones, because you still have a lot of time. The 15-minute ones, I've repeatedly told myself not to partake in, and this is exactly why. Because it's really hard to predict 15-minute changes. But I was like, maybe I can do it. Um, Still not totally sure, but hey, let's see. Probably not given the worth is kind of going up. Let's review just in case. I don't think we're coming back from this, to be honest. We might. Yeah, I started maybe a couple weeks ago. It's not like I still have a lot to learn, I'm sure, but I've been learning new things. I've been using only like $10 just to learn. So like I'm not losing a crazy amount of money and every time I'm about to blow the account, I just earn $10 on Prolific so I don't like um create a hole, you know. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna try and predict this right now. So this was a crazy uptick. This candle right here is crazy. I don't usually see that. But then you have this little tiny period of like just nonsense or stagnation, and then boom, another downtick. This was like 5 minutes. I usually notice there's like a 5 minute stagnation period that you can cash in before it reverses. And then what's going on here? A lot of upwards movement that I didn't anticipate, which is why we're losing. Mm. It is difficult to predict because there's so many different factors. And I also invest in stocks and stuff and hold long term, which have gotten me some decent gains. Um, Trading is like my next kind of thing, and it's been difficult, but I'm learning, and I believe there are patterns and stuff that are recognizable and that I can use to get a better success rate. We're going up ridiculously. Wait. Yeah, see, down, little period of nonsense, up, little period of nonsense, down, little stagnation period, up, stagnation, down. Then what is going on here? I don't know, which is frustrating me because I don't know. But there was a 45-minute stagnation period earlier. This could just be all in my head. I could be just making this up, and it could be no pattern at all, which yeah, so this was a 45-minute period. I think this is what's happening here, unfortunately. Like a 45-minute stagnation. But then again, this is going way up. So this is not the same thing. This was still stagnant almost. Like a little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit up, a little bit down. This is just straight up. Let's check out the day. Yeah, this is crazy. Dang, I didn't even pay attention to my no, but I'm pretty sure we lost. Yeah, we're cooked with that. And in that case, I have 55 cents. So we have one more shot to make this work before I have to reload it. This is like the third reset. Let's see. Yeah, this was third account blow. Now we're down to a crisp 55 cents. 22 seconds left. I'm going to try and predict this. Ooh, we're going down. But let me actually look at it. It's so fun to write on these. I just love scribbling with this thing. It's so fun. Just gonna paste this into my thing. All right. Let's bet on a no. I'm gonna place a limit order because these things are so hard to get into, these 15 minutes, because so many people are buying and selling at once. Ugh. Come on. I have to also wait for Kalshi to start the next one. There we go. All right. One contract. Dang, I thought it went through. Go on. I did buy something. Because I have 3 cents. That means I bought. Why isn't it showing me that I bought something? Hello. There we go. I didn't bet on the last one, did I? Okay, 13 minutes. Kind of wasted some time there. Now we wait. And yeah, Kalshi is pretty cool. Though something that's not so great is, to my knowledge, there's no stop loss on Kalshi, so it's like more risky. Um, but you can trade on sports, culture, whatever, climate. I've been gravitating towards Bitcoin. I tried Solana or Solana, whatever, I don't know how to pronounce it, but that was horrible because even though my chances doubled, the liquidity was so bad that like I couldn't even sell, even though my chances doubled, because there was no one like there was no liquidity. So I don't go there, but Bitcoin and Ethereum is fine, even though obviously I like Bitcoin the best because um like I can it's more reliable to me compared to the other cryptocurrencies. They have Dogecoins here and like all this other stuff, but I'm not gonna mess with that. Anyways, what is going on here? Not looking good. See, what is happening? This does not usually happen. Nah, Kalshi is like the only thing that I do have, and I look at TradingView because TradingView is ahead of Kalshi, but my money is only in Kalshi. What the heck? It's actually crazy to me. Hopefully it drops off again before the 15 minutes are up. But that's why I think my lesson is probably that I should just stick with hourly. Um, because the 15 minutes, this is, bro. That is crazy. That's cool. Yeah, no, I don't have it. Let's see. Hmm. Maybe I just need to look at the bigger picture sometimes. Because maybe this could have, I mean, given this steep drop off, but then again, it not only recovered, it like completely jumped up. Let's see. It's a year, it's down. Oh, yikes. Yeah, I did not see that uptick coming whatsoever. It's insane to me. Yeah, and in 7 minutes, I don't think there's no way. There's no way. Yeah, no, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. Hmm. So given I completely blew it, which is it sucks, but it is what it is. I'm gonna end stream, make $10, and come back. So yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah, bye.